One of the things that I experienced in 7th grade and 8th grade, like a lot of Lutherans did, was confirmation, which was essentially saying we've got all of this objective material we want to pour into your brain.
Mm-hmm.
So we want you to memorize things, we want you to learn about Martin Luther, we want you to read these Bible stories, and it was really just to impart information.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, the eye-opener of the Rite of Passage is that it's a holistic experience to help a boy or a girl begin the transition into adulthood. And it is doing so from the perspective of faith. And so it's connecting faith with life as an adolescence. It's connecting faith to what does it mean to grow up to be a man of faith, a woman of faith. And it involves this mentoring idea so that a boy can relate to some men, learn what it means to be a man of faith. And a girl hangs out with these women, learns what it means to be a woman of faith. So it's not just an imparting of information, it's about transformation.
It is.
As they are transforming from children into adults. Let's talk about adolescent girls. What are some of the things that are happening in their lives as they move into, through these adolescent years into adulthood?
Yeah. So in a sense, the same things. Obviously, there are physical changes. There will be psychological and mood changes. There will be some separation from the mom, which often will show up in bickering, and stuff like that. And that's trying to psychologically separate, stay close but separate, right, to find the adult female self. There will be there will probably be a sense in the girls of, well, I want to figure these things out myself. Don't get in the way. Don't tell me what to do. And she's also asking, who am I? And girls have a really interesting path with who am I that sometimes boys don't understand and we men don't understand. Girls are, as they are as women, they're juggling between self and relationships in ways that boys don't have to do. Boys can be sad that they don't have a girlfriend, but then they just go live their boy life. Oh, I'll play football or baseball or whatever it is. I find some bonding groups and I'll play video games and I'll do my homework, let's say, and then I'll wait this out. And but girls, the oxytocin, which is a bonding chemical that gets a lot of shots of that for girls in early adolescence and throughout life, that's creating the needs to bond, and they're trying to figure out what all that's about. But at the same time, they're an individual self that tries to be independent and be an individual self. And one of the great things that women can do for girls in the 12-13, so in this discipleship program, is help girls with how they tell their own story and talk to girls about how they juggled the need to bond with the need to be separate and an individual who's independent and strong. Because if girls don't get that in early adolescence, we sometimes can see that by 15, 16, or 17, they overbond with a boy, and then they lose themselves. And while this can happen with boys, it can. We tend to see this more with girls. They're just completely cleaving to this other person, and their whole life gets defined by this peer, boy in this case. So one of the great gifts that we can give girls, and one of the reasons I think that rites of passage are so important for girls in early adolescence, is so that they can get help setting up a life in which they will be strong leaders. And we talk about discipleship for girls is the wisdom, right? For boys, it's the heroic journey. For girls, it's the wisdom journey. And so there are similarities, because girls can be heroes and boys can be wise. But these are not exactly the same journey, because what boys and girls are experiencing at 12 and 13 is really not exactly the same, as it will not be when they're 40.
Right.
So this is a key piece to the girl life.